You may be eligible for this right now, as the lawmakers are now approving new bills that would help provide select households with extra relief money, but you will have to take action in order to receive this aid, which would be worth as much as $1,200. Now, according to the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy, Biden proposes enhancing the child tax credit based on the temporary credit that was in effect for 2021. The temporary enhancement was an enormous success, cutting poverty in half. The President and many members of Congress sought to carry the success forward, including in the House it passed Back Better plan. Unfortunately, the bill stalled in the Senate, and the child tax credit provisions were not included in the Inflation Reduction Act, which passed last summer. As a result, millions of people slipped back into poverty. The Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy has confirmed that the expansion would benefit 55 million children, and no children would face a reduced credit because their families earn too little. But the discussion of a more expanded child tax credit has been many states to approve additional relief for the residents. The state of Washington is offering its residents a tax credit to help working families offset high costs. The working family tax credit is open, and anyone who meets the requirements is encouraged to apply. Applicants must have a valid Social Security number. They must be between the ages of 25 and 65 or have a qualifying child. Residents must have filed a 2022 tax return and claimed the federal income tax credit to be eligible for the Washington Families Working Tax Credit. And the amount beneficiaries receive just depends on their income and qualifying children, with a maximum payment of $1,200. Sources say that lawmakers in New York have also looked into expanding a child tax credit in the state to include children under the age of 4. Now, lawmakers this year had called for the child tax credit to be expanded, with an initial proposal that would have led to a maximum credit of up to $1,500 per child and provide up to $500 per child regardless of income. Supporters of the expanded credit had pointed to studies showing that since then a lapsed expansion of the child tax credit resulted in 2.9 million children being lifted out of poverty across the country. Now, surging mortgage rates have also caused a chilling effect on both buyers and selling of homes, freezing the housing market in place, yet houses pretending to climb. And according to Fox, the combination of costlier mortgages and other home prices are record highs. It's causing an affordability crisis. Stimulus checks worth up to $500 have actually been confirmed by the president. Billions of dollars are actually being allocated toward a new round of stimulus payments. According to state officials, employees who served on the front lines during this crisis are being rewarded with stimulus checks in the state of Georgia. The city of Augusta plans to compensate anyone who worked in jobs with a high risk during the times. The amount of money you'll be eligible for is determined by the number of hours you worked and the employment type of work that you worked in. Full-time city employees, for example, will receive a $500 incentive, while part-time employees will receive only $250. If you worked in public safety, dispatch, custodial, or garbage collection during these times, you may be eligible for an extra $500 stimulus check. Part-time employees in the above sectors will receive $500, while full-time employees will receive $1,000. The state's economy rebounded strongly last year from a brief recession in 2020, thanks to a surge from stimulus funds. The state finished the fiscal year of 2021 with a $3.7 billion surplus, with some of the money going to the government's saving account. A Republican has glossed over the reality that the surplus has created mostly on federal help, went for everything from extended unemployment benefits and child tax credits. Governor Kemp proposed $415 million in grants for a crisis stimulus check to companies early this week. There could also be benefits for other employees in the city, as even non-essential workers may be given an extra day of administrative leave instead. A top Biden administration official indicated that the ongoing student loan payment pause is going to end and payments will resume, but he did not confirm a specific timeline, leaving borrowers guessing about when and whether to plan for repayment. For over 26 months, payments on most federal student loans have been paused, and interest has been set to zero. Collection efforts against defaulted federal student loan borrowers have also been suspended. That relief was originally provided through the CARES Act, but Biden officials have hinted that yet another extension of the payment and the pause may be coming soon. In response to a reporter's question about whether the president would extend the relief payment again, the officials told reporters that it would continue to access key economic indicators, including cost and inflation. Last week, the education secretary declined to confirm that student loan payments will actually restart this September. He said that education department officials are discussing with the White House about when to restart the payment.
Our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday.
Now, this is just in. The unemployment claims are unexpectedly rising. So as the crisis continues to worsen across the country, lawmakers are now in Congress and looking into passing the fourth stimulus checks as soon as this month of January. So even state governors are urging the Biden administration to send out more stimulus money for Americans that are financially struggling right now. And this is a win-win for pretty much everybody. Now folks, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Now, according to the Labor Department, initial unemployment claims unexpectedly jumped to a total of 230,000 last week. It still remained low compared to the crisis-era averages. And the Labor Department just released its latest weekly jobless claims report. Despite the rise in filings for the first-time unemployment claims, jobless claims have held near or below the pre-crisis levels for more than a month. But many economists and lawmakers are worried about the slow economic recovery of the crisis. With the crisis making its way across the country and across many states and many cities, Americans are becoming more and more worried about their finances. According to several sources, further economic support must be passed by Congress as soon as possible, as soon as this month. All for the people of America and all for American businesses. Do you guys agree with that message? Do you believe that President Biden has to do all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? The recent surge of the crisis is actually forcing thousands of people off work and putting them under big pressure. But the good news is that there is more stimulus money available to be claimed for by many people. People just have to be ready to receive the stimulus payments, folks, so comment down below if you're ready to receive more stimulus checks from the government. So the latest batch of stimulus payments from California is all heading out in the mail. Families who earn less than $75,000 and met other requirements will receive.
We're saying that. And our distinguished whip, Mr. Clyburn, talked about the three legs of the stool, the rescue package, the BIF, and now this bill being the infrastructure of our future. And of course, our distinguished chair of the Ways and Means Committee who held down the fort for such a long time.
Now, maximum monthly payments will be capped at $1,250. The payments will also be reduced as parents earn an amount of money over different thresholds. The old child tax credit plan was available to everyone, and having requirements would not be popular among progressive Democrats. But if Republicans supported the bill, then the lack of a progressive vote would not be important. There is a huge update on the $1,400 fourth stimulus check package. Lawmakers are making big progress this week. Democrats in Congress are set to complete negotiations and get President Biden's Build Back Better bill passed by the deadline. New budget plans have also been released.
Through our comprehensive and resilience partnership, which we announced last year, we're in a situation now that we've invested our cooperation to spur innovation while delivering concrete progress for our people. Promoting a secure 5G network, improving internet connectivity.
And now Democrats have set Memorial Day deadlines for reaching a deal with Joe Manchin on a slimmed-down budget reconciliation bill to provide more financial relief